Today is April 2nd of 2025, and we are still in the midst of the retrogrades and feeling all the energies. And today I just wanted to take the moment to just connect with spirit and share some readings for all moon signs, all astrological moon signs. Um, just for the just for the sake of supporting ourselves while we figure out what's going on. So, if you want to receive a reading for your moon sign, then you definitely want to stick around. And if you don't know what your moon sign is, then you can check online. You can search for the moon and where the moon was when you were born, at the time that you were born, and that will be your sign. So stick around for today's session. Is going to be jam packed with support and so much guidance from spirit. Cura, 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 corazón. Cura, cura, cura. Hi, I just wanted to take this moment to invite you to come over to my website, www.thebloominglotushealing.com. That's www.thebloominglotushealing.com, and sign up for my email list so that you can stay in touch and find out about activities that I don't announce here on YouTube. And you can also get to know all of the classes that I offer, as well as the one-on-one offerings that I have available there for you. Namaste, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Blooming Lotus Healing Channel. My name is Jikara, and I'm a spiritual healing facilitator. And I am basically going to share today some readings using my Oracle deck, Spirit of Psilocybin Oracle deck, along with tarot. And I will be tapping. I'm already tapped into the Akashic Records, so I will be receiving messages through the Oracle deck as well as the tarot deck for all moon signs. And today is Wednesday, which is the day of Mercury. And of course, we're still in the midst of Mercury retrograde. And I felt like, it's a good idea to kind of get some guidance mid-term of this, in the midterm or the interim, while we're going through this journey, traversing this retrograde together. So if this is your first time here, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel. And if you have subscribed already, I want to thank you for being part of the family, and make sure that you hit that bell button so that you know when I go live next. Also, if you are on Facebook, please just hit the follow button so that you are notified when I go live next. I want to invite you to share and like this video. Interacting with this video helps me grow the channel, and it helps me reach other people who might need the messages that are coming through today. So your engagement is so valuable, and thank you. Any comments that you put in as well do count. So please let me know in the comments, where are you connecting from? For those of you who are on Facebook right now, while I am live, I may not be able to see your comments, which is fine. But I just kind of want to let you know, if you continue to engage, that will help. So please do continue to engage on the with this live, as even if I can't see your messages right now, I will go back and respond to you guys. I want to invite you to go over to my sister channel at the Akashic Records channel. If you go over to YouTube and type in the handle for this channel at the @ the Akashic Records channel, you will be able to receive clearings, collective clearings, and support yourself throughout your journey. We are slowly building a library that will support you. Now, just so you know, this is not ad free. YouTube still adds their ads, adds their ads to the videos, and I don't have any control over that. But if you do want to get access to the videos ad free, and you want to become a patron for the channel, then do consider going to the link on the description to sign up for the membership. If you are on Facebook, it's on above. If you are on YouTube, it's below. So please do consider signing up for the membership. I also want to invite you to make sure that you go over to my Instagram, the Bloomy Lotus Healing, the Bloomy Lotus Healing, if you want to continue interacting there as well. Trying to be more interactive on social media. Sometimes it's a little harder when you're kind of, as I run my own small business and I run everything, it's sort of overwhelming sometimes, but I do try to go and interact as much as I can. So do consider going also on my Instagram and also TikTok. So it's the same. Instagram and TikTok are the same handle, the Bloomy Lotus Healing. Okay, so today is Wednesday, April 2nd, and we are on the waxing crescent moon today. So if you are not aware, we just went through the new moon. We just had the new moon in Aries. We officially entered this lovely energy of, starting the kick starting this beautiful opportunity for us to manifest and to put a lot of fire into our manifestation. Hence the reason why we had that beautiful new moon. And then alongside with that new moon, we had the solar eclipse. And so if you felt the energy, I'm sure if you're very sensitive to that, you probably felt it in different ways. So let me know in the comments, how do you feel after this weekend? How was it? How did you feel? And so yesterday I wasn't live because I've also been dealing. We are transitioning into spring, and then my allergies have been keeping me up at night. And so yesterday I had to take time off. I almost took time off today, but I was like, no, let's just push through. But yesterday definitely I was under the weather, so that's the reason why I wasn't live. So thank you for your patience and your support, your continued support, and for coming back. I'm so grateful for your time. And so we're gonna take a moment today. I really feel it's important to, it's kind of interesting, right? Like I didn't really know, because I usually check in my calendar, on my calendar, where the moon is, where is it existing at this time. And it happens to be in Gemini today. So we have the waxing crescent in Gemini. And I kind of wanted to share a little bit about so the waxing crescent is sort of like this momentum sort of energy, right? That it's sort of like the kickstart of momentum that we get to connect with. And so that's my personal perspective on the waxing crescent moon. And if you have any other perspectives or any other things you'd like to share about the waxing crescent, please let me know in the comments. But for me personally, it represents this sort of like when we go into the new moon, we're planting the seed, and then the waxing crescent is this opportunity for things to start brewing, right? Like things are starting to brew. Maybe even actions are being taken. That type of energy. But interesting enough, today we are on the energy of Mercury, and we are on Gemini. Gemini is represented by Mercury. So this is a very mercurial day. And it's a very, let's say, telling to me, because when we're looking at Mercury, we're looking at the possibility of us doing trade or commerce. Today is also maybe a day that you might feel a little restless. But then when we feel into Gemini, there's also this essence of the moon, right? That is in Gemini today. And Gemini sometimes may have a hard time connecting with their emotions, right? That could be one of their negative traits. So maybe paying attention to where in your day today you may have a hard time with your emotions. Maybe you want to push your emotions away. Maybe you just don't want to deal with something, and with your emotions. And so paying attention to that today, it's sort of paramount, I feel, because that's the energy that is present, right? That's just like the overall energy that's affecting us all in some shape or form. So what is it that you're resisting emotionally that could potentially be presenting itself to you so that you can address it? Now, the other thing that is really good about today is that today's a really great day for networking, for connecting with other people, for engaging with your friends, with your family, with those around you. It's a really great time for you to stay curious. If you wanted to kind of learn something new, today is a perfect day for that, because not only do we have that moon in Gemini, that crescent moon in Gemini, but we also have that amazing energy of Mercury, which is a representation or a ruling planet for Gemini. So today's a really great day. Like maybe you were pushing away on learning or starting like a class and or self-paced class. Today's like a really great day for you to harness that energy and connect with that essence of learning or expansion of your mind, or maybe staying curious, and again paying attention to those parts of yourself that want to push any emotions back. That's a very typical trait of Gemini. So just keeping that in mind, just know that even if you're not a Gemini, it could potentially be affecting you. Why? Because it's the energy available right now as a collective today. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. And so we're going to go ahead and do moon sign readings today. And I kind of wanted to share with y'all what moon signs are, because maybe some of you are like, what is a moon sign, right? Maybe some of you are just kind of like, what is this? And so I'm gonna kind of explain to you where to find that on your chart, or at least find it in the sense of just looking for the moon calendar for the day that you were born, so that you can have an idea. Now, good morning, Nicole. Welcome. So happy that you're here, my love. And so when you're looking at your chart, right, you're gonna have a, if you happen to have your chart, because some of you may not have your chart, you may have to go online and find your chart directly online. Make sure that you are finding a chart that gives you the moon sign. So the moon sign is going to be where the moon was and what sign it was. Just like I was talking about how the moon today is in Gemini, right? When you were born, the moon was in a certain sign. It was sort of like, influencing your emotions in a certain way. Like that was sort of like the influence. And that, for example, like today, like I was mentioning how Gemini is influencing our emotions today as a collective. When you're born at a certain time, certain day, right, then, and the moon is in that certain sign, then you're going to have that's going to be your internal energy, right? Like that's what's going to be internalizing, like what you're going to be internalizing in general. How you perceive your emotions or how you relate to your emotions is what the moon sign is. So why am I sharing moon signs instead of, or inviting you to connect with the moon signs instead of the sun signs? Nothing wrong with sun signs, but I think we forget that we're also emotional beings, right? We have this aspect of ourselves that is energetic, and emotions are basically energy, emotion, and this energy, right, has a sort of like information that wants to share with us. And a lot of times we are just sort of like just judging it or pushing it away, or we don't want to, or we're just feeling it, but we're not really reading into it. And I'm not saying that you have to read into it all the time, but sometimes we want to kind of feel, what is it, what's the message here? And so that's the reason why I wanted to share the moon sign readings instead of the sun signs, so that you can really connect with your emotional body. And so anything you can do today to connect with your emotional body, you can even look for the emotional wheel. And I highly recommend that you connect with that today. We're going to do an exercise together, which we did on Monday. We did this together. We're going to do that again today. We're going to do a little bit of a grounding together, right? Not much of a meditation. It's not going to be a long thing, but just like a few minutes, just 2-3 minutes of us grounding and connecting with ourselves, connecting with our being, connecting with our body, connecting with our emotion. And I want to invite you to right now go out and look on Google for the emotional wheel or emotion wheel. And you can find it online. It's all over the place. And I just want to invite you to look at it for a minute. Just look at for a minute, just so you can see how many emotions, how granular you can get with your emotions, right? So that you can put arms and legs to what you're feeling, to what you're experiencing at this moment. And the reason why I want to invite you to do that right now is so that when we go into the grounding, meditation, then you can sort of connect with that. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can find it here as well, so I can share the wheel of emotions. Let me see, emotional wheel, and of course, I'm gonna be sharing this. Um, let's see. There's emotions wheel. There's so many here online. I'm gonna go ahead and share the one from Calm, because I feel like it's probably very small, so I don't know if y'all are going to be able to read it here, but I'm going to share the screen with y'all. It's sort of like in a PDF format that they put in here. Okay. All right. So this is from Calm. So this is not mine. Just, real quick, I just want to share this. I'm going to share this on the comments so that you guys have it. Let me just go ahead and put it here on the comments. So you guys have it directly here. It's like a PDF that I downloaded from Calm. It's not mine, but I'm putting it on the comments so that you guys can open it up real quick and look at the emotion. And so you can see how granular we can get with with our feelings, with how we are. And if you look at the wheel, the very center of the wheel, we have sort of like a very like the overarching of the umbrella. And then from that umbrella, we can get more granular, right? We can get even more detailed in regards to how we feel. And why is this important for us to do? Why is this something that we want to do? In our daily life? It's because this is how we can understand where we are existing. We were talking about energy hygiene on Monday, right? We were talking about energetic hygiene, and we did a clearing on energetic hygiene. Why is this important for us, and why am I doing a reading on moon signs? This is why. Because we need to be more aware. We need to bring more awareness into our being so that we can bring more divine aligned action into our lives, right? And so here I am, not only am I doing a reading for you today, but I want to invite you to really feel empowered into understanding where you are existing emotionally, right? Because I'm not inside of you, but you get to decide where in this wheel do I exist, right? So hopefully you got to open up that PDF and you took a look at it. You can see from the very center, there's a very overarching, just kind of umbrella term, and then from there you can go into or outward into more granular aspects. So go ahead and take a look at that. And then let's go ahead and open the container. We're going to open the circle, the sacred circle. Thank you, Spirit. And as we open the sacred container, I'm going to offer the spirit of sage here to support us in this beautiful opportunity to connect, to be together, to be in this transformative and beautiful circle. And I offer this spirit of sage to you, offering the clearing for everyone, and offering the clearing here for our ancestors, calling in the ancestors of the land, thanking them for their support and their protection, honoring them for being the caretakers of this land. As we honor our land, I honor the spirits or the ancestors of the Seminole, since this is where I am, in the land of the Seminole. And if you know those who are of your land, those who are the ancestors of your land, feel free to thank them as well. And if you don't, you can just say the ancestors of the land. And calling in ancestors and well ancestors for our own family tree, calling in our higher self, calling in spirit guides and spirit team, and calling in all that is for the highest good and the highest good of all only. Calling in protection, calling in Archangel Michael for shielding and protection, calling in the white light and the golden light of protection, calling in the violet flame of protection. Thank you, Spirit. Calling in grounding and connection with Mother Earth, with Pachamama. Thank you, Spirit, for this opportunity to create a sacred space here for those who are watching or on a replay. As we create the sacred space, we call upon higher self to help us, to guide us, to receive the messages that are for the highest good and the highest good of all. As we connect to these tools, I ask, Spirit, that you use me for the highest good and the highest good of all. Thank you for allowing me to be a vessel. Thank you. I want to invite you to take this moment to close your eyes or soften your gaze, whatever feels more comfortable for you. I want to take this moment to ground with ourselves. And we're going to do this by focusing our awareness onto our breath, onto your nostrils. Taking this moment just to notice the sensation of your breath as it goes in and out of your nostrils. And inviting your body to relax. Inviting your belly to relax, your shoulders to relax. Your tongue relaxes, your jaw unclenches, And just relax. Feeling present with your body, we're now going to take this moment just to scan the body from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet, just acknowledging the state of your body. Where is your body existing at this moment? Notice any sensation, whether it is an intense or subtle sensation, whether it is pain, whether it is soreness, whether it is pressure, temperature, even the subtle touch of your clothing against your skin. Try to feel into every sensation as you scan throughout your body back and forth from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet, and from the bottom of your feet all the way to the top of your head. Just relaxing and allowing. And at this moment, I want to invite you to ask yourself, how do I feel? Where in the spectrum of the colors of the emotional wheel are you existing? How do I feel? And just being aware and present with where you feel, and that's okay. Wherever it is that you're existing, that's fine. You could have even more than one color, more than one emotion at this moment, and that's perfectly fine and normal. Just allowing yourself to be present with this aspect of yourself that wants to be heard, wants to be seen, acknowledged, accepted. And just be in this moment of presence with where you are without trying to shift anything, without trying to push anything. Just allow yourself to breathe in and out, relaxing your body, and being present with your emotion or emotions. Relaxing a little more. And notice if there's any shift at this moment. Notice as you hold the emotion and you allow it to exist and move through you. Notice if there's any shift. Seeing yourself as a vessel, the vessel of the emotion. Sometimes we just need to be present with our emotions. There are parts of us, aspects of us that need to be heard. Are we paying attention? Are we listening? Just allow yourself to be present. And if nothing shifts, that's okay too. I want to invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose at the count of three. Deep cleansing breath. Allow your belly to expand. And when you release all the way out until you have nothing else to release. The count of three. One, two, three. Deep breath. And release. All the way out. All the way out. Another deep cleansing breath. One, two, three. And release. All the way out. Another deep breath. One, two, three. And release. All the way out. And just go back to your regular breath. taking note of how you feel from when you started till now. Think about one or two things, or even five things that you're grateful for at this moment, visualizing them in your mind's eye or just thinking about them, giving yourself permission to be present and fully mindful of this gratitude and allowing it to expand into your body. Notice how your body shifts, the sensations of your body shift as you think about one thing you're grateful for. And just allow. And when you feel ready, you may start moving your fingers and toes, and you may open your eyes, feeling ready to engage with today's readings. Okay. We are officially in Aries season, y'all. Aries season. How are y'all feeling? Let me know, how do you feel after this mini meditation? Let me know in the comments. Do you feel any shifts for yourself? Are you like Jikara? I don't feel anything. I don't care. I can't feel anything, Jikara. I don't know what you're talking about. We're going to be doing Mercury retrograde messages for moon signs. Of course, we're going to start with our beautiful Aries. Our beautiful Aries, we are on Aries season. Fiery season, exciting. It's the kickstart, right, of this amazing cycle, new cycle. All right, so let's go ahead and pull some cards for Aries. Spirit, I'd like to know, what are the messages for Aries in regards to, for moon signs in Aries, for moon sign in Aries. We're connecting to emotions, to deep emotions, Spirit. What do we need to know at this time for those who are moon sign of Aries? Okay. For moon sign of Aries. Okay, let me just put this up here so you know what I'm doing. For moon sign on Aries. Dear Aries, we have the Eight of Swords right side up. If you're a moon sign of Aries, this message is for you. You may be feeling, your emotions may be related to feeling powerless, or maybe feeling helpless about a situation, maybe even feeling victimized, or almost like you are connecting with many limiting beliefs that are disconnecting you from your power, from your inner power. You're being invited to connect with your power, dear Aries. If you're of Aries moon sign, this message is for you. So what is happening here is that you are invited by the spirit of psilocybin to reconnect with your inner power, to your sense of belonging, to your sense of understanding that you have everything within you to make things, to shift things, and to alchemize the energies, and to shift your perspective. This is a time for you to maybe sit and create some ritual, create ceremony for yourself. How can you create a little bit of space for yourself, sort of like what we did at the beginning of this video, right, where we were sat in a little bit of meditation, and we were shifting energy. So we're shifting our emotions, or really being present with our emotions. This is a time for you to create space for your emotional body, dear Aries. You may have been guided by your emotions for too long, and this is a time for you to start really breaking free from these emotions that are driving your life right now. We got the card of the bad trip as well, dear Aries, which tells me that you may be dealing with past experiences, or maybe even trauma, that is sort of guiding these emotional outbursts, or this emotional aspect of yourself that's just sort of like out of out of alignment for you, right? And so the reason why it's out of alignment for you is because it's stuff from the past that is no longer serving you. So maybe even looking into working with a trauma counselor, or someone that will help you move through these limiting beliefs, or a coach, or someone that will support you. Even getting an Akashic record clearing. I mean, I'm gonna say it. Sometimes we need to clear some of these energies so that we can, release these emotions a little easier. But you definitely need to spend some time creating space for that. If you're not creating space for that, then you're going to continue in this cycle of just going back into this um place of feeling like trapped. Like, I feel like it's just like feeling trapped, like you can't get out of this cycle. And then again, being disconnected from your emotions is not helping you. And then also, not seeing clearly, not being able to see all of what is available for you. Connecting to even to gratitude will really help you right now, like just to kind of shift the energy for yourself. But I feel like you need to do some deeper work at this time. Okay. So try to look at this. I know that it may feel overwhelming for you. But I know that if this reading is coming out for you, is because this is to support you in seeing that you have the ability to get out of this situation. All you have to do is just ask. That's the first thing you want to do, is just ask for help. And the universe will send the help that you need, right? Like, just ask for help. But you gotta make that decision, right? And then once the help comes, don't deny it. And that's where things get a little tricky, because you may be so entrenched in your own stuff that you may not even see it when the help comes forward. So staying open, right, to receive the help is also important as well. Okay. So that's what I have for you, dear Aries. And we're gonna move on to Taurus. Okay, I see some messages here from people. Scorpion moon, feeling great. Awesome. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nicole. Happy pre-birthday. Okay. So this is what I have for Aries. We're moving on to Scorpio. Sorry, not Scorpio. Taurus. Some cards fell because these are very I don't know how to call them, but they're very easy to shift. Okay. So we are moving to sorry. Why do I keep saying Scorpio? Okay. Nicole. I'm connected to you, girl. Okay. All right. So Taurus, for the moon sign in Taurus. Moon sign in Taurus. Thank you, Spirit. For those who moon sign in Taurus, thank you, Spirit. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. For those in moon sign in Taurus, what do we need to know? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay, we are going to honor both of those cards. All right, dear moon sign in Taurus, we have the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. We're going to honor both cards that came up for you from tarot. Okay, and we have the Light Medicine card, we have the Visions card, and then we have the Bioluminescence card for you, dear Taurus. So moon sign in Taurus. At this time, you may be feeling like you are ready to take some actions, but you're trying to find ways, some actions towards your finances. And as you're taking those actions toward your finances, you may be walking away from, you may be actually, those actions may not be the best actions that you need to take at this time. So you may want to be mindful of that aspect. And this is part of the emotional aspect of yourself that is sort of driving these decisions in regards to your finances, and the way you perceive your finances are being driven by your emotions. So be mindful of these actions and really try to refine why, and making sure that you're not making decisions that are actually hurting you in the long run. Okay. I see also that you are kind of holding back from taking opportunities when it comes down to spending money. So this is very, so it sounds to me like your material world is very interconnected with your emotional world at this time. You're sort of like feeling like almost like this not jealousy, but this possessive energy around your material life, right? And this is all guided by a sense of insecurity, a sense of not feeling stable enough, right? Like a sense of not feeling like you're capable of expanding enough. And so I want to invite you to really start shifting yourself and start bringing a little bit more of that lighter connection with your material life. So the light medicine card, what that tells me is that you're being invited to, first of all, how can you bring joy in the things that are about your material world, right? Like how can you bring joy to the things that, to your spending? How can you bring joy to your to the way that you organize your finances? How can you bring sort of like a sense of manifestation, right? Like you can't really manifest what you want, dear Taurus, um if you're doing it from a place of just your emotional state has to be in a good place. That's what I'm trying to say. You're kind of like doing it from a place of lack, from a place of want, and that's not really the best place to be in. You want to kind of shift that around and connect to that abundance and that beautiful light that is available, like that energy that's available from the universe. We have the bioluminescence card and the light medicine card. That tells me that you're being invited to connect to that lighter side of yourself so that you can really manifest and bring in the things that you want. Otherwise, it just feels like it's almost feel like the best way that I can feel is like threading through mud, like almost like you're kind of trying to make things happen, but at the same time you're not addressing your emotional state and the way that you feel about money, the way that you feel about your current experience uh financially and with the material world. And there's sort of like this sense of like disconnect, and you've got to connect them both. If you don't connect them, right, then you're not going to be able to tell like, oh, okay, that's why this is not working out for me, because look how I'm feeling. The moment that you start connecting your emotional state with what's happening in your world, you're going to be able to see so many shifts, because then you're going to be able to see, okay, this is something that I need to shift within myself. Let me work on this. Then you work on that, right? And then you start seeing the shifts in the outer world, if that makes any sense. So hopefully that helps you, dear Taurus. Um, very earthy energy here. I love it. Okay, moving on. We got Gemini moons. Gemini moons. What do we have for Gemini moons, Spirit, for today? What messages do you have for Gemini moons? Let me see. There's some. Yes, Nicole, I'm telling you, girl. What is going on here? Okay. Okay, so Geminis. What is the message for Gemini moons? What's the message for Gemini moons, please? Gemini moons, we have the Ten of Swords that came out from tarot. Okay, we got the Ten of Swords right side up. We have the card of honoring. We got the card of moon. And we got the card of cura or heal. Okay. In regards to my Gemini moons, of course, we're talking about emotional body here, our emotions. So it feels like there's sort of like this tinginess of bitterness in regards to your life right now, almost a feeling like you're defeated, like you haven't had enough, like you've been working very hard to make things happen in your life, and then sort of like now you're fully in your head. Like you're so much in your head right now that you're trapped in your head without being able to connect with your emotional body. That's what's happening right now. And because of that, you feel like you can't, like, you feel almost like there's this sense of like being caged inside this like a very mind driven experience, very thought driven experience, and almost feeling like this is the end, like, oh, this is the end of it all. So I just want to tell you, dear Gemini, that's not the case. So the spirit of psilocybin is mentioning that, first of all, we want to honor our path. So you have a very unique path that you're experiencing right now that you want to really just honor for what it is, and understand that this is just part of the cycle that you're in, right? Like, this is not the end of it all. You haven't, like, it's not a complete failure. Your life is not a failure because what your mind is telling you. Your mind is lying to you and telling you that you have failed, but you haven't. Dear Gemini, please understand that this is a time for you to really take a moment to rest and heal these aspects of yourself that are keeping you in this thought process. I want to invite you to start. I'm going to tell you right now. I want to invite you today. You're going to go out and you're going to, if you don't have a journal, you're going to go out and get yourself a journal. You can go to Dollar Tree or something. I'm not promoting, but anyway, you're going to go to a dollar store, get yourself a little journal, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to write down, right? You're going to ask yourself the following question. You're going to ask yourself, what are my thoughts right now? What are my thoughts right now? And you're going to write down all your thoughts. It doesn't matter if they're good or bad, because I'm not going to read it. Nobody's going to read it. This is for you to come into an agreement of what's happening in your head, because you are so much in your head that you're not able to see beyond that. And that's keeping you disconnected fully from everything around you, including your emotions, which this is a very typical thing for Gemini. Gemini has a hard time connecting to emotions, but the reason why you're having a hard time is because you're so much in your head. So I would invite you to go and get your journal. If you don't have a journal, get a journal today and ask yourself the following question. What are my current thoughts right now? What am I thinking about right now? And just write it down. You might be surprised about the things that you start writing, because you may not even realize that some things are subconscious and they're there present. And this is what you're going to use to help yourself heal these limiting beliefs or thoughts that are kind of keeping you stuck in this place of just feeling like you can't get out, right? And then of course we have Mercury retrograde, which doesn't help, right? So that this is sort of like, but this is an opportunity for you, right? This is an opportunity for you to break that pattern, for you to break away from these thoughts. These thoughts are there, or this is an invitation from the universe so that you can shift forward. Okay. And so one of the affirmations here from this card, which I want to say, is you let go of the past and embrace your new beginning. You are actually it's not the end of it all. This is just a place that you are right now, because you are on a cycle. Don't forget, you're in a specific cycle at this moment, dear Gemini. So what's happening is that you are in a specific moment of the cycle, and all you want to do is just accept that and understand that you continue on. So right now, maybe it's a moment to rest and to refine what's happening, and then to kind of find what's the next step for you. So that is what I have for you, dear Gemini. We're moving on to Cancers. Cancer moon. So if you're of Cancer moon, this message is for you. All right. What do we have here? Just reshuffling the cards to prepare for my beautiful Cancer moons. All right, Cancer moons. Let me see. Thank you, Spirit, for the messages. What messages do we have here for Cancer moons? Okay, thank you. What else? Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. What is the message from the Spirit of Tarot for Cancer moons? All right, dear Cancer moon, in regards to you, we have the Queen of Cups upside down, okay? We have the light medicine card for you. We have the death card for you. And we have grandfather air for you at this time. Okay. In regards to Cancer moons, we have the card of Queen of Cups, which is all about emotions, but it's reverse. So, what that tells me is that you are sort of like in this overwhelming aspect of your emotional body that is kind of taking over, almost like your emotions are the ones that are taking the wheel at this time. um because of that, you're feeling very sensitive, you're feeling like almost like you've been giving too much, like you've been like almost like the world is upside down. Like I feel like that's like the world, your internal world is upside down. That's what I'm feeling for you. Okay. And this in turn maybe giving you the sense of insecurity, or insecurity about yourself, insecurity about what does this mean, what are these, what is this experience internal that I'm having, what does this mean at this time, feeling almost like you're very sensitive or fragile, like anyone can just say something and you'll just break. And so, dear Cancer, that's normal. This is part of the journey, right? And I just want to invite you to really lean into, so to kind of shift the energy. I'm not saying for you not to feel your emotions, absolutely feel them, but how can you bring something that will bring sort of like a balance? Because you want to rebalance the energy. I feel like that's what's happening right now. You've been kind of overthrown by all of these maybe negative emotions that have been kind of pent up for a while, and because of all of this retrogrades and also the eclipses and everything, that could potentially be part of the ignition of all that, because these are emotions that were under the surface that needed to surface so that you can connect with them and do something about them. But doesn't mean that you have to do anything. It just really means that you need to feel. But if you're feeling overwhelmed, your Cancer, you don't have to submerge yourself and like drown in your emotions, right? What you can do is rebalance yourself by bringing some joy into your life, like maybe even watching a funny movie, something that will make you feel better. Or even if you wanted to give yourself permission to kind of drain that emotion out, or like the negative emotions out, maybe even watching a movie that will help you cry, right? Releasing that. And then later on watching a funny movie, or maybe doing the funny movie and then doing that, you decide what you want to do, but doing that will help you kind of like release that energy and kind of like cathartic, right? Like it's a cathartic thing for you. It's time to let go. The card of death is telling me that it's time to let go of these old ancient energies that you've been basically carrying. I'm even feeling that some of this has to do with past life stuff that you're not even is not even coming to your aware. Like there may not even be like memories attached to these emotions that are coming through, and you're kind of lost, like what is going on here. And part of it has to do with past life stuff. And so just be patient with yourself and hold yourself in this beautiful place of compassion, right? And then the grandfather air card, what that tells me is that you may need to, so some of the things that you're feeling may be related to, they may not have a connection, right? And those, of course, we can explain by understanding that there are other lifetimes that are impacting us at the soul level. And so that's the reason why you're feeling that way. But then there may be other aspects that are playing a role. Like for example, just because it happened on a past life, it doesn't mean that it's not affecting you in the present moment, meaning that you could potentially have an interaction right now with someone where you have to speak up and you have to say how you feel, and you're not saying how you feel right now, and that's why you're draining yourself and drowning yourself in this emotional state. So I want to invite you to really think about how can you start shifting, right, your perspective about speaking your truth. You can still speak your truth, you can still use language that is positive, and it's not destructive, right? You can still do that. You don't have to be afraid of saying your truth, because really, when you don't say it, then you're literally not allowing yourself to release what you need to release. And so it's time for you to speak up now, dear Cancer. You may have been avoiding this for a while, but that it's just you can't do this anymore. It's definitely not helping you in the long run. And if anything, you're just gonna drown in all of these negative emotions that are not serving you, right? And so if that's the case for you, definitely connect with your voice, with your sense of, you can even do some toning, try to like do some toning like ah, ooh, ah, like do some toning to help you kind of activate your throat chakra. And then you can even rehearse how you're going to say what you feel. Maybe you can even write it down so you have the time to kind of like think about how you want to say it, right? And then even having that piece of paper when you're gonna say it out loud to the person, so that it'll help you, right? Sometimes we need that. So that's what I have for you, dear Cancer. We're moving on to Leos. All right. Who is having fun? I know I am. I love doing these. And I hope y'all are loving them as much as I am. Okay, Leo. I'm gonna drink some water. Self-care, y'all. Mm. God bless water. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful we live in this beautiful planet where we have access to water. What a blessing. Have you thanked your water today? Make sure you thank your water, because it gives us life. Thank you, grandmother water. Okay. All right. So what are the messages for Leo? Leo moon sign. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Well, this is fun, dear Leo. Okay, let's see. What's the message here for Leo, please? Leo moon sign. Okay, dear Leo, fire is in the house. We got the Ace of Wands for you upside down, okay? And we have the inner child card, the rainbow card, and the inner adolescent card for you. So much fun, dear Leo. We have a lot of fun, fiery energy, a lot of solar plexus energy. I love that. So that's what I'm feeling for you. There's a lot of solar plexus being activated for you in regards to your experience right now. Your emotional body is asking you to look at any aspects of yourself that are feeling blocked, or that you're lacking energy. Maybe your passion, part of yourself that feels creative, that has felt creative in the past, now maybe feeling like you don't have that, or you don't, or that you're not creative anymore. Maybe even hesitating to express yourself, or being in your fire, being in your energy, being in your power, dear Leo. And the reason why this is happening, it's because we are inviting you, dear Leo, to do some work with your inner child and your inner adolescent. What is it that you loved doing when you were a kid, growing up throughout your life? And I find this very interesting that both of these cards came up, dear Leo, because what that tells me is that there is a most likely a constant throughout your entire childhood, all the way until you became an adult, that was always present for you when it came down to things that you like to do that were creative in nature. And maybe there was like one thing in particular that was a constant throughout your life growing up. So I want to invite you to look at that one thing that you love doing, and you want to go back to that and do that. You want to do that. Okay. Why? Why do you want to do that? Because that's going to move the energy for you, dear Leo. It's going to help you move forward into not feeling stuck, or feeling lack of passion, or feeling lack of being yourself. If you want to connect with that beautiful energy, right, with that beautiful energy of creativity, because when I see the rainbow card, what that tells me is that there's a lot of, how do I say this, there's a lot of opportunity here, even connecting with color, connecting with coloring, or coloring books. Even doing that, it'll be good for you. But then just the opportunity to connect with colorful things will be very, very powerful for you, dear Leo. I see here that the invitation for you is to recognize who you are really, beyond what you were told who you are or who you were, right? Because there's the aspect of ourselves that we express, that is what we were told that we need to do, and the programming. And you know, dear Leo, what that programming is, because it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel aligned. It feels like you, like almost like lethargic for you, right? But when you are doing this one thing, you feel so energized and so excited and so happy, right? And this one thing is something you've been doing from since you were a kid, right? Since you were a little kid, you were doing this, and you were doing this all the way up until you decide, we decide to become adults, right? And so, because really the reality is, dear Leo, is that that kid is still inside of you. That kid is inside of you and is, oh my gosh, is crying to be expressed right now. It wants to be there, present, expressive right now in your life, right? And so how can you bring a little bit more of that aspect of yourself, more of that version of yourself forward, because it is a big part of who you are and you don't want to deny yourself that. Okay, so that is what I have for you, dear Leo. Dear Leo moons, my beautiful moons in Leo. Hi, Elia or Elia P, coming in from YouTube. And if you are on Facebook and you're posting, I'm sorry if I don't see your posts. If you want to post, you can come over to YouTube and I'll be able to see you. Okay, so we got Virgos. What's the message for Virgo moon? Virgo moon. Message for Virgo moon. Thank you, Spirit. What's the message for Virgo moon? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, we have 4 cards from the Spirit of psilocybin. We are going to honor them because that's how I do things. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Hi. So happy to see you. Welcome to the fam. All right. So we have, okay, there we go. Oh, okay. Dear Virgo, we have the 10 of Swords for you, right side up. We also have the card of reciprocity, the card of shadow medicine. We got the card of honoring and ceremony. And we're going to talk about this. For you, dear Virgo, we have this moment where you're maybe feeling a little victimized. You may be feeling like you've been giving to the point of exhaustion or even feeling betrayed because you have been giving, and you haven't been receiving in the same way that you have been giving. You've been giving so much so that at this point you're feeling as if, what's the point? What's the point of continuing? And that is the shadow medicine that is coming up for you right now, dear Virgo. Dear Virgo, how much of your emotional state can you sacrifice for the sake of giving, because you are someone who wants to be of service to others? But are you giving service to those who are actually aligned with you? Are you being of service with those who are actually aligned with you? Are you giving to those who are not willing to give back without you having to ask, right? And even if you do ask, are they responding positively to this ask of yours, right? And so how can you start looking at your relationships right now, today, and start understanding where your energy needs to go versus where your energy doesn't need to go anymore? You may be giving your energy to the wrong places. Where in your being are you feeling like you have to do this because of maybe past experiences? Maybe it was the way that you were brought up. Maybe there's trauma. Maybe there's trauma bonding. There could potentially be issues in regards to the way that you were brought up. Maybe even abusive behavior that you brought up, and then you continue to give and give and give on to the point of exhaustion. And then guess what? You're feeling victimized. You're feeling betrayed. You're feeling bitter. You're feeling upset because you are not really being honored and loved and yeah, honored for who you are. We got the card of the honoring and ceremony, right? So you need to honor yourself. You need to honor your energy, dear Virgo. Okay. And this is a time for you to maybe step aside and take some time for yourself and maybe redefine what does a relationship, how does a relationship or an optimal relationship feel for you? And I'm not talking about thinking. Think about what I'm saying. I'm saying feel, because we're talking about emotions here. How do you want to feel in a relationship moving forward, dear Virgo? Okay. Not about what you think is best. No, because thinking, the mind is how do you want to feel? Because what you feel is what's going to make a difference, because that's the energy. That's the energy of the relationship. If you're not feeling well and you're feeling drained, there's an emotional disconnect there. There's an not disconnect, but there's an emotional drainage that is happening. There's an energy that is being drained out of you, right? And we don't want to do that. We don't want to be in those environments, right? And so I want to invite you to really create some space for yourself this week. Maybe you even go into ceremony. Ceremony can be something as simple as just sitting with yourself with a beautiful cup of tea, making like a nice little brunch for yourself, creating a little bit sacred space for yourself, maybe burning a little candle, maybe even taking a bath and thinking about whatever it is that you want to do that feels ritualistic and ceremonial for you, honoring your energy and refilling your cup, however that looks like for you. Okay. Create that ceremonial space for yourself, honoring yourself. Create a ceremony for you. Give yourself that ceremony. You deserve it. Put yourself in the altar, right? Put yourself in the altar and venerate yourself, right? And I'm not saying this from a place of egoic or narcissistic way. No, I'm saying from a place of giving yourself some nourishment, because you've been basically not being given this. So you got to turn that medicine back to you right now. And as you turn it back to yourself, then you're going to say, okay, now that I filled my cup, now let's go ahead and figure out how is this going to work for me moving forward. Where am I going to really give my energy moving forward? It's okay to do a little bit of spring cleaning with relationships. That's also good, right? And so yeah, trimming your garden. This is time for you to trim your garden a little bit, so that you can flourish and allow your garden to be in that beautiful state that you know that you can, and I know that you're able to create. So that's what I have for you, dear Virgo. We're moving on to Libra. Libra, Libra, Libra. What do we have for Libra, dear Spirit? Libra moons. We have Libra moons, dear Spirit. What do we have for Libra moons? What do we have for Libra moons? Be clear. Okay, thank you. Thank you. What do we have for Libra moons? Thank you. All right, dear Libra, we have the card of Page of Pentacles right side up for you. We got the card of Cosmic Mother, the card of Ceremony, and the card of Death. Okay. Dear Libra, you are connecting to that earthy energy right now. So the earth medicine is present for you today. So I see someone who is really focused on their goals, who wants to, you're really focusing a lot on making your world, right, your world, your physical world, something of a place of abundance and prosperity, right? You're seeing yourself in this place. You may be entrenched, or even let's say, yeah, entrenched in this essence of making your life more comfortable, more luscious, maybe even more luxurious. But then there's also this sense of grounding that you're being invited to kind of practice at this time. Okay. You're also being invited at this time to take some practical steps, right? To hit those goals, right? So this feels like you're kind of your heart is basically in creating a luxurious life for yourself, a life that feels good to you. And luxurious life doesn't mean it's not necessarily what we see on Instagram, but what it feels right for you, what feels aligned for you specifically. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is that with the Cosmic Mother card, this tells me that you are being invited to connect to your body, to connect more to the earth medicine, which makes sense because we have the Page of Pentacles here. You are invited to align yourself with what it feels like to be prosperous, like what, like feeling into your body more versus your mind, because as a Libra, you're kind of like you're air sign, so air feels more comfortable for you, but you're being invited to go more into the grounding, connecting more to the body, connecting more to what it feels to be abundant in the body, right? Like, how does it feel like? How does it look like in the real tangible world? And that's the medicine that you're being invited to connect to at this time. And that could potentially be a little hard for you, dear Libra, because you're kind of like, well, but I want to be in my mind and I want to imagine things and I want to, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're also kind of being redirected into a place of grounding, of grounded action, or even just grounding, just being present in the present moment. So you're being invited to create intention for yourself so that you can, when you are like even doing things in the physical world that are for the intention of manifestation of connecting to your goals, making it into like a sacred ceremony for yourself, like as you are taking action in making like the list of things that you're going to do, or creating like a task list or whatever that is, make that into a ceremonial process for yourself, make that into a process of initiation for yourself, because it is an initiation, actually is an initiation to your graduation from being in the mind into the body, right? For being able to balance both, to being in the essence of what Libra really represents in your being and feeling into that. And so you're kind of closing a cycle right now with the death card. What it tells me is that you're kind of closing a cycle. You're letting go of past beliefs, past ways of being, past ways of that were not serving you, right? And that you recognize right now that that for you to get to where you need to be, or for you to continue to attain what you want, these ways of being are no longer serving. So you're finally letting go. You're finally giving yourself permission to move forward because you're so hyper focused, which is really great. So I want to invite you to really think about how can you work with your root chakra more this month, okay? How can you connect? How can you go into earth, go outside and connect with earth, put your feet on the ground, meditate on the earth, even visualize yourself rooting into the earth, connecting with trees? That's going to be a really powerful tool for you. um just being outside in nature will really help you in that sense of grounding at this time, dear Libra. So this feels very good. It feels sort of like an initiation. So this may feel very like almost like foreign for you at times, but the more you practice it, the easier it will become, and the more and the easier these results will come towards you. Okay, that's what I have for you, dear Libra. Libra moon. We're gonna move on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, finally we got Scorpio for Nicole, right? Which I wanted to say, like I was trying to read Scorpio at the second sign. I don't know what I was doing there, Nicole. Yeah, I was like, I kept saying Scorpio, Scorpio. Like, okay, Scorpio. Mm. But here we are. We are on the sign of Scorpio finally, Nicole. So here you go. Here's the message for you. Okay. All right. So what's the message for Scorpio moon spirit? What's the message for Scorpio moon? Thank you, spirit. What's the message for Scorpio moon? All right. Thank you, spirit. Let me see. Let me see if Nicole is saying something over here. Probably gonna be a good message, right? Yes. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Okay. Okay, dear Scorpio moons, we have here the card of Ace of Wands upside down. I pulled another one, Eight of Cups upside down. I also have the card of Spirit Animals, the Journey. This one is related to Crossroads, and then we have the Shadow Medicine. Okay, so dear Scorpio moons, we have here so we have here the Ace of Wands, which is telling me that there could potentially be a moment where you might be feeling a little bit lack of energy, maybe feeling a little tired, maybe feeling like you don't have much to give right now. Maybe like there's a sense of like being guided to take a step back and just relax for a minute. And that may feel like, oh well, if I'm doing this, like where what's the point, like where I want to bring something new, like there's almost like this feeling of wanting to bring something new, or even like doing something differently. But there could potentially be resistance to doing things differently because of the fact that you're sort of like in this you're in this decision making moment, right? And having to make a decision feels heavy at times for you, dear Scorpio moon. It can feel like you don't like, if like almost like if I do this, am I gonna do the wrong thing, am I gonna do the right thing, like I'm not like in that kind of gets you stuck, like feeling like you have to stay where you are, because otherwise, like at least you know the status quo. At least you know what's happening. You know the status quo. You don't have to make it. And this is a very typical thing for Scorpio. Scorpio has a very hard time making changes. It's a very slow energy, right? So it's very normal for you to feel in that way when you're trying to make a decision. You're not, as a Scorpio moon, you're not gonna be making like quick rash decisions. There's gonna be a little bit of just really feeling into it a little bit more and like figuring it out. So that's normal for you, dear Scorpio. So I want to invite you to really not see this as a negative thing. This is just part of the experience of being a Scorpio moon. Now, but I want to also mention here that there's two things that you want to consider when you're looking at these two paths. There's two paths. There's the path where you go into it by yourself and just dig into your shadows yourself, just by yourself, or there's the path where you ask for support. Which path do you want to take? Do you want to take the path of support, or do you want to take the path by yourself? None of those paths are bad or wrong. It's just a matter of like they're going to have their own set of experiences that are going to unfold. So there has nothing to do with, oh, am I going to do this wrong, or is this going to be the wrong thing for me? It's more about like what is the experience that I'm looking for, and taking that direction. So maybe feeling into that a little bit, right? And thinking about that, hopefully that will help you make that decision and make you feel a little better about moving forward, right? Like being able to make a decision, informed decision. So again, the path is going to go two ways. Whether it is you're going through this path by yourself and you're just digging in, you're digging in all by yourself, you're doing it, and it doesn't mean that you're not going to do it, but you're going to be doing, you're going to be doing a lot of work and shadow medicine by yourself, or you go through the other side, which is going to be more supportive. There might be more input, there might be more input outside of yourself. So you really just have to make a decision of like where do I go. The benefit of having the input is that you're going to have guidance, you're going to have support. The benefit of doing the work by yourself is that you're going to be basically, just, you might take a little longer, or you may have to really just work through certain aspects of yourself that sometimes might feel like you can't see them very clearly, and you have to kind of like move through the mud by yourself and then work through it by yourself without the outside support. So that those are the two sides of the coin here. So whichever you want to do and whichever you feel is best for you, that's what you want to take. Okay. So that's what I wanted to tell you. Okay, that's interesting. So you're stepping back into community, feeling drawn to do so, and yes, yes, absolutely. Oh, I love that. So definitely being in ceremony, that I love that for you. So definitely, that path is definitely, it feels very light. Like for me, like this path feels a lot lighter. It feels like this path feels more like, okay, there's a little bit, it's a little heavier, a little more, let's say, how do I say this? But more, I want to say, not, I don't want to say difficult, but it's a little heavier because you're doing it by yourself, right? And so that's what I'm seeing here. So I'm so happy to see that you're taking that path. Not, I'm not saying that, if you would have done the other path, I would not have been happy, but I'm so happy for you because I think it feels very light, and it sounds to me that you're lighter. You're feeling into that beautiful energy for yourself. So I think that's going to be really great. So that's going to move a lot of energy. You're going to be able to do so much energetically for yourself. And it's also gonna move a lot of blocks, or any blocks or energetic blocks that you haven't been able to do yourself. You're gonna be able to do this in community. So that's great. I'm so happy to see that for you. Okay, so moving on, Sagittarius. So if you are of Sagittarius moon, this message is for you. Where are my Sagittarius moons? Let me know in the comments if you're a Sagittarius moon, or what is your moon sign. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. Mine is Aquarius, by the way. I'm a Capricorn sun and Aquarius moon, Aquarius ascendant. I should be really an Aquarius, but thankfully I have a Capricorn sun that grounds me. Thank God for that. Because my gosh, let me tell you, having all that Aquarius energy, man, it's intense. Okay. All right. So moving on. Ooh, moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius moon signs. Sagittarius moon. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to honor that. Okay. Sagittarius moons. What else do we have here from the Spirit of Tarot? Spirit of Tarot, what is the message for Sagittarius moons? Okay. Sagittarius moon, we have Sagittarius moon. We have 4 cards from the Spirit of Psilocybin. I am going to honor them because you know that I always honor whatever spirit wants to come through with. We got the Queen of Pentacles from Tarot, upside down. We got some earth medicine for you. We got the Journey and the Mycelium card, and we have Inertia and Cosmic Mother card for you, dear Sagittarius. Okay, so let's talk about the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so we have this beautiful earth energy really trying to support you, but at the same time it feels like it's kind of bringing a little bit of upheaval for you. That energy of this specific card is all about um sort of like a materialistic or greedy energy, maybe like holding on to things, maybe even feeling jealous, maybe feeling a little selfish, maybe feeling like you don't want to give more than you can, than you want, and that's perfectly fine, dear. Listen, I don't believe that that these energies are necessarily inherently bad. It just means that where is this coming from, right? Like, where can we stay curious in regards to why you may be feeling like maybe insecure about what you own, and maybe insecure about what you have, and even sharing with others. Like, where is that coming from? Let's look at it from a place of curiosity, right? Why are you feeling this way? Why are you feeling like you need to kind of keep this stuff all for yourself and not share? Is it because you've been hurt, right? And when I really look at this, I really feel like there could potentially be aspects of yourself that are feeling disconnected from your emotional body. You've been hurt. Something has happened that has put you in a place where you don't feel comfortable sharing with others right now, dear Sagittarius moon. And that's okay. But we want to get granular with this. We want to understand where is this coming from, right? And so right now you're kind of feeling like, we got the Journey card, and this card specifically is all about, first of all, it's number 1. Number 1 represents solitude, being the one, the leader, the one that starts everything, the one that does things on their own, the trailblazer, right? You're kind of like in this very solitary type of energy at this time. And you're being guided and invited right now to connect with community, dear Sagittarius. Okay. We have this beautiful opportunity for you to really do this, but you have sort of like this resistance to leaning on to other people, or receiving support because of potential issues with your mother and your relationship with mother. Potentially could be the way that she related to you, or the way that you observed her relating to others as you were growing up. And because of that, you, dear Sagittarius moon, are then acting in the same way your mother did in certain ways. So, how can you move away from that and start activating the opportunities that are coming forward to you? You may be, resisting leaning in, or resisting opening up because you're afraid that you're going to be hurt, you're afraid that you're going to be taken advantage of, you're afraid. This is the fear. That's what this energy is about fear. So where is it in your being that you're feeling fearful about sharing and collaborating and cooperating with others, right? And how can you allow yourself to open up with the right people, of course, right? And allow yourself to receive that, and be in that sense of community, in the sense of sharing with each other, sharing bread, even inviting people over to your home and sharing food with them, right? That in itself will be very healing for you. Or even just going out and doing some charity work, or doing some volunteer work, and sharing your time and energy with others, and giving back to the community, so that you can feel that sense of community, and feeling part of something bigger than you, dear Sagittarius. You're being called to do that right now. So, but you got to look at, right, you got to look at the fact that we have the situation of this resistance that is kind of holding you back from doing that. So you want to pay attention to that, right? How can you be more receptive, right? When we look at the cosmic mother card, it's all about receptivity, the feminine energy, the soft, the nurturing, right? Maybe you didn't receive much of that growing up, and that's why you're not able to kind of share that, and that's okay. Give yourself permission to connect to that feminine in the way that feels right to you right now. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be what is, what we see in the movies, right? So that is what I have for you, dear Sagittarius. We're moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn moons. Monette is Pisces. Okay, Monette, we're going to get to Pisces soon. We got Capricorn moon. Thank you, Spirit. All right. What's the message for Capricorn moon, Spirit? Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. All right. What's the message for Capricorn moon, Spirit? All right. So we have the Nine of Cups, Capricorn moon. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the card of Rainbow. We got the card of Inner Child for you. And we got the card of the Journey. Okay. So, dear Capricorn moon, you are in this place of feeling content. You are feeling like you have acquired so much so far when it comes down to your sense of um feeling successful. You're feeling successful, you're feeling satisfied, you're feeling good, you're feeling fulfilled, you're feeling happy, you're feeling content, satisfied. You're feeling really good at this time. You're feeling like, okay, I can I can sit here and like just bask in this beauty of where I'm at right now. You're kind of taking in that beautiful, the blessings, all the work, all the hard work you've been putting in, dear Capricorn Moon. You are actually feeling into the blessings have, that are pouring over you at this time, or that have poured over you. You are being invited to continue to do your inner work with your inner child, where in your being, right, there could be potentially an aspect of yourself that still doesn't feel sad. Maybe there's like a little voice behind it, like, but I want more, right? You have like that little voice behind you. Well, that could potentially be your inner child trying to get your attention. So tend to your inner child right now, dear Capricorn Moon. This is the time for you to really feel into those aspects of yourself that that were maybe neglected, right? Maybe there's some emotional neglect there that needs to be addressed by you now, and in the aspect of reparenting yourself. Okay, you're also being invited to recognize that you are not here to just rest in your laurels. You're going to continue on to your journey. There's still more to achieve, there's still more to do. But this is the time for you to kind of really feel into all of the things that you have achieved, and to feel content with your life. And if you're not feeling content with your life right now, even though there's so many things that are showing physically in your life that are really good in your life, then what is it? Where is that inner child trying to guide you towards, so that you can heal that part of yourself, so that you can um share your love and share your compassion for yourself, right? So that's the message here for you, dear Capricorn. I feel like it's almost like the story will continue. Like, I feel like the journey card at the end is sort of like, and the journey continues, and so we'll be back, right? Like, it's almost like this beautiful opportunity for you to see that, yeah, there's still more to go, but that doesn't mean that you have to feel like you haven't done enough, or that you have to feel less than, because there's more to go. And if you do feel like that, again, addressing the inner child is important and imperative for you at this time. This looks like a beautiful reading. I love that in the place that you are, and I'm excited for you, dear Capricorn. This is beautiful. So yeah, that is what I have for you, dear Capricorn. That is what I have for you. We're moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius, moving on to Aquarius. All right. Spirit, what is the message for Aquarius moon? Okay, thank you. What's the message for Aquarius moon? Thank you. All right. What is the message for Aquarius moon? Thank you, Spirit. Dear Aquarius, we have the card of the Seven of Swords upside down for you. We have the card of the Journey. We have the card of Honoring. And then we have the card of Shadow Medicine for you, dear Aquarius. Okay, so the Seven of Swords, what that tells me is, so we have it right side up. So we have this, so in your conscious awareness, there's sort of like this truth that's being revealed for you at this time, dear Aquarius. Okay, there's some truth that is coming forth in regards to your being and to yourself, right? You can potentially be feeling some sort of regret at this time, maybe regretting taking a specific path, right? That you have taken before. Maybe you were at a crossroads and you took a turn, and then you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But I want to invite you to really honor yourself at this time, there, Aquarius, because what's happening right now is that you are invited to honor this path. You chose this path for a reason, because there is so much healing that you're doing right now. And you want to honor all of these triggers, all of these aspects of yourself that feel uncomfortable. They don't feel good. And I get it. I understand it. It's not fun, but it's happening because you're blasting through these triggers. What do I mean by that? If you do this in a conscious way, right? If you do this in a conscious way, we have the seven of swords, right? If you do this in a conscious way, you will blast through the stuff and you'll be able to integrate and alchemize everything that you were meant to alchemize. You did this for a reason, dear Aquarius. Do not feel distraught. Do not feel like you are like you did something wrong. Absolutely not. You're doing the right thing for you at this time, right? You want to honor this specific journey that you're in right now, the specific you want to honor the reasons behind it, even if the reasons aren't, you can't understand at the conscious mind at this time, but at the subconscious, you were guided by your higher self to take this path. So do not feel like you did something wrong. You actually did the right thing for you at this time. So just stay the course. Stay the course. Stay the course. Stay the course. Okay? That's the best thing that I can say for you. Grandfather Air is here to support you. I pulled an additional card for you. So that means that you are being invited to say what you mean what you say your truth, stay connected with your voice, stay connected with song. Something that can help you is to sing, to listen to music, to help you move the energy, to express in that way, to communicate using your throat chakra. And of course, you are an air medicine sign. So using the air medicine will support you at this time. Okay. So that's what I have for you, dear Aquarius. And then now we have Pisces. Pisces moon. All right. So for Pisces moon spirit, what do we have here? Show me, what do we have for Pisces moon at this time? What are the messages here? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Pisces moon. Tell me, what do we have here for Pisces moon? Dear Pisces moon, we have the card of Three of Pentacles for you. We have the card of the Crossroads. We have the card of Grandfather Air. And we have the card of Bad Trip for you. Okay. In regards to this reading, dear Pisces moon, I am seeing that you are being invited to do some collaboration, to put a little bit of effort in communicating and connecting with others, to collaborate, or really feel into like what it feels to be in this collaborative space of sharing your energy, sharing your visions, sharing your efforts together, sort of like bringing this, like taking you away from being an individualistic space into more of a community and interconnected space. You're being invited to see yourself from a place of creativity as a community, right? Like how can you activate your magic? How can you activate your yeah, how can you activate your magic within a community? How can you activate yourself from a place um of seeing yourself as a piece of a puzzle, right? Like seeing yourself as an important piece of the puzzle, and instead of putting yourself apart or keeping yourself apart from community. So you're being invited to lean into that right now, to collab, and then you may have collaborations that come through for you that will support you. And so you're gonna have an opportunity that you're gonna have two opportunities that are gonna come through for you throughout this season, right? And one of them is gonna be you doing things on your own, and the other one is going to be you actually going into that collaboration and creating opportunity for yourself. And you probably already have that. And if you have chosen the one with teamwork, that tells me, dear Pisces, that you are being activated in learning how to communicate your truth, how to communicate what your needs are, how to communicate what your magic is. And you may have moments of triggers, meaning you may have certain past experiences that are kind of creating a sense of resistance or a sense of just uncomfort in community. You may be feeling a little uncomfort because of past experiences that were not the best, dear Pisces. Okay, you may have had situations that were not let's say there was no closure, right? There was no closure. That's the word that I was looking for. And because of that lack of closure, then you may feel a little awkward or weird around sharing your magic with a community because you have been taken advantage of, or you may have been looked down upon, or maybe your efforts were not seen as valuable enough, or something in that regard, where you kind of felt like you were not being seen for who you truly are, and not acknowledged and appreciated for who you truly are. But you're being invited to really see yourself for the beautiful light that you have, for the beautiful energy that you bring, and understand that this community specifically is not that past community. You gotta address these triggers that are very real and that are affecting you in real time, and see the community that you're a part of right now for what it is and not for what you're projecting it to be. Okay. So again, you want to see it for what it is and not for what you're projecting it to be. And that's what I have for you, dear Pisces. I am so excited for you. I think it's going to be a beautiful opportunity for you. And I think that if you lean into these triggers, if you lean into letting go of these aspects of yourself that are holding you back from leaning into the community, you're going to flourish so much in there. So don't let these projections of the past ruin opportunities in the present, okay, and into the future. So that's what I have for you, dear Pisces. That is what I have for everyone. I hope that y'all enjoy these readings as much as I do enjoy doing them for you. I would love to know, how are you enjoying the readings? How are you connecting to them? Do you feel connected? Do you feel disconnected? Do you feel like, oh, Jakara, this is not good? Or, oh my God, I connected with this. I know that you're not going to connect to all of it every single time, and sometimes you may even be triggered by some of these readings, which is okay. That's part of the medicine. But I hope that you are enjoying yourself, and I hope that you have a beautiful, wonderful Wednesday. Blessed Wednesday, day of Mercury, day of curiosity, day of learning. So be sure to learn something today. We have the Gemini moon, so make sure that you connect with that beautiful essence of air, and support yourself, and with that beautiful energy. So I want to thank you all for being part of this. I hope that you are enjoying them. Please let me know in the comments if you're enjoying these videos, so that I continue. The more you comment, the more I will do stuff, right? Like, if y'all don't comment, then I don't know what's happening, and then I get sad because I don't know what's happening, if people are enjoying them or not. So interacting with the video also helps. You know why? Because it lets people know, these algorithms know, the AI or whatever algorithm, daddy algorithm or mommy algorithm, know that you like what you see and that you want this to be suggested to others. That's the benefit of sharing, liking, engaging, and all of that. So make sure that you share and like this video if you haven't done so, with your friends and family, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so. What are you waiting for? Just subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you hit that notification button so that you know when I go live next. And I will be back tomorrow, and I will see what is I never really know what I'm gonna say until the day of. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. What's the juicy energy that's gonna come through tomorrow for Thursday? So we'll see. I love you all, and namaste.